Somewhat different, fairly self-explanatory, right? That means that I do something new, maybe something that nobody else has ever done before. And that's the most exciting part of my sport, because think about it. For me to be in a gym, to be working on some sort of gymnastics skill that just maybe nobody else has ever done before. It's exciting. Until you stop and ask yourself this question. Why is nobody else trying this? And you think maybe they have, but they haven't survived. Let me show you an original skill I used on pommel horse at the games. You saw earlier when I did my dismount, I went up to a handstand on one arm, right? And then I got off the horse and I landed on my feet, right? Well, back when I was competing, going up to a handstand on the pommel horse was the new trend on pommel horse. Only in the past couple of years had gymnasts been going up to a handstand on the pommel horse. But the only time they would go up to a handstand was at the end of their routine, because they couldn't figure out a way to get down from the handstand without just getting off the horse. So the handstand was always the dismount, the last trick. And if a judge saw a handstand, he knew the routine was over. He'd put his head down and add up the score. Well, I thought, what if I could fool the judge? What if I could figure out a way to do one of those handstand things and don't get off and just stay on the horse somehow? And that's basically what I did, and I'll show you in a moment where I'll do some circles. I'll swing on to the end. I'm going to turn. I'm going to go up to a handstand like the dismount that I showed you, but from the handstand, I'm going to drop to the center of the horse into my scissor sequence. That's that pendulum swing that we do back and forth with our legs apart. That's a required skill in our sport. The first time I did this unique break, as we call it, into the scissor sequence in a competition, I really surprised the judge, because they did it at the beginning of the routine. I mean, I chalk on my hands, signal the judge, jump up there, swing around, I go right up to a handstand. The judge thought, what happened to Vidmar? Oh. The guy just freaked out. He forgot his routine. He's getting off. I'm going to kill him. He's excited. 2.3. And he looks back up, and I'm still going, and my score jumped about 0.2 of a point, consistently from what it had been previously, just by adding this little original skill. I think the key to originality, the key to innovation or creativity in my sport is stop watching the other guy. Now, I have to know where the trends in my sport are going. Part of that knowledge comes from knowing who the competition is and what they do. I can learn from that. But I can't base or pattern my performances after someone else. My goal, if you think about it, is to try to get to the point where everybody else is watching me, where I'm the standard of excellence. Now, that's not easy, but that's the goal. And one of the things that we had to do as a team was we had to stop playing the game called catch-up, and I'm sure you can tell what that is. We would go to these big events overseas, maybe a World Cup or a World Championship, walk into the gym for the training sessions that precede the event. Look across the gym. See a great gymnast from China or Russia jump up on the rings or the parallel bars and do something that we've never seen before. And we'd say, wow, hey, did you see that? What a great skill. Oh, what did I think of that? Run back to the gym the next week, and we learn it sometimes just like that. No problem. And we say, it wasn't even that hard. Come back to the next important competition. This time, fairly impressed with ourselves. You know, I can do that skill, and you're not so tough. Walk in the gym, look across the gym, see the same guy, this time on the flow exercise or the pommel horse, whatever. Do something even more innovative and unique, and we'd say, wow, did you see that? What a great skill. What did I think of that? Run back to the gym the next week, and we learn it sometimes again, just like that. And it's always too late. They get originality. We get nothing. We're just being copycats, doing just what it takes to keep our heads above water. One of the reasons why our team won the Olympic team gold medal was every member of our team stopped playing catch-up. Did things on our own that were unique and that were original.
A talented speaker and performer, Peter explains his winning strategies using live demonstrations on the pommel horse. Don't worry, he brings his own. With such a unique approach, it's no wonder that Successful Meeting magazine ranks him among the top 10 corporate speakers in America.
Well, here it is at the end of the day. I'm tired. My ankles are swollen. I tore 3 more blisters in my hand. My shoulder hurts. I feel sorry for myself. Gymnastics stopped being fun 2 hours ago. I want to go home. At this point, many times Tim and I would convince ourselves that we could have happened to us the ultimate gymnastics experience. Whether it's realistic or not doesn't matter. We convince ourselves it is for that moment and say, what if? So I'd look at Tim and say this. Once again, end of the day, just 3 of us left in the gym. Hey, Tim, put some pressure on, okay? I don't care how you feel. Let's just imagine right now it's the Olympics. It's the men's gymnastics team finals. The U.S. team's on their last event of the night. Just happens to be the horizontal bar here. Last 2 guys up just happen to be Tim Daggett and Peter Vidmar. We haven't even made the team yet, so what? And here's the catch. This is where we thought it was funny. We start to laugh. I'd say, Tim, Let's just imagine that we're neck and neck with the People's Republic of China, reigning world champions. We got to perform our routines right now perfectly to win the Olympic team gold medal. Let me say, yeah, right. We're never going to be neck and neck with those guys. They were first in the world 6 months earlier in Budapest, where I had my unplanned departure from the horizontal bar I told you about. We were fourth. We didn't even win a medal. It's not going to happen. But what if? Would we be nervous? Yeah. So I'd walk over, chalk up my hands, close my eyes. In this empty gym, I could vividly imagine that I was instead in the Olympic arena, but there were 15,000 people there, 2 billion watching me live on television. I got one chance to make this performance successfully, or we're going to lose. My heart starts to pound. I'm not tired anymore. Tim's over in the corner of the gym, and he would say something like this. Next up, from the United States, Peter Vidmar. Just like the loudspeaker at the Olympics. I'd imagine my name is called and get ready to go. Now, you don't perform when you feel like it in my sport. You perform only when the judge allows you to perform. That's when he pushes a button that makes a green light go on, and he raises his hand. And the longer you wait for that green light to go on, clearly the more nervous you're going to get. Trent Demas, who won the gold medal on the horizontal bar in Barcelona in '92, had to stand before the high bar, waiting for his green light to go on, for 6 minutes. It's a long time to wait. Can you imagine Michael Johnson in the blocks? For 6 minutes till the gun goes off? What'd that do to shred his nerves? The reason why Trent had to stand there and wait was because the judges were disputing the previous performer's score. They couldn't come to an agreement. He had to stand there and wait while they argued. It's called a judges' conference. Julianne McNamara, for the same reason, had to stand before her Bandelstein routine at the '84 games for 9.5 minutes. It's an eternity. Worse than waiting for Tanya Harding to fix her skate lace. Tim's over in the corner of the gym in charge of this imaginary green light. And after a long time of staying and doing nothing, trying to throw me off guard by waiting, finally, when he thought I at least expected it, he would shout, "Green light." Because they never really had a green light in the gym. He said to say it. I'd imagine the green light goes on. Look at my coach. Imagine my coach was the Olympic judge. He would raise his hand. I'd raise my hand right back. Turn and face the bar, grab the bar, and begin my routine. Now, if I fell off the bar there, if I made a mistake there, that ruined my day. I was miserable. Why? Because I placed importance in what I was doing. I didn't say, which I easily could have said at the end of a long, tiring day. I didn't say, "So, Peter, you fell off the high bar." Who cares? It's just a workout. You're tired. Big deal. Go home. Go home. Just work hard tomorrow. Just work twice as hard tomorrow. It doesn't matter. It's just another day. No. I felt like I lost the whole competition. I placed importance in that routine. I felt like somebody from NBC Sports is going to walk up to me right now and say, "Well, Peter, you just lost the Olympic Games for your whole country. How do you feel?" I'm going to Disney World. But if I made my routine successfully, I felt great. I'd land my dismount. I'd get all fired up. Oh, yes. Drive home every day after a workout like that one and say, "Wow, I just won the Olympics today. That was great. I'm going to do it again tomorrow." Got me excited. Now, we did that for practice because we knew realistically, and let's be real about this, it's not going to happen. But it's good practice because it taught us to focus, to be diligent at something. When we didn't feel like it. Most important time to put forth effort. That's when you know the most about yourself. Well, a funny thing happened on July 31st, 1984, and I'll finish with this. It was the Olympic Games. It was the men's gymnastics team finals. The U.S. team was on their last event of the night. Just happened to be the horizontal bar. Last two guys up just happened to be Tim Daggett and Peter Vidmar, and here's the catch, and all of a sudden we weren't laughing because it really wasn't funny anymore. We were neck and neck with the People's Republic of China, the reigning world champions, and we had to perform our routines perfectly to win the Olympic team gold medal. Well, there are 6 gymnasts per team. Only 5 scores count. So if one guy makes a mistake, that's okay. Throw out the low score. Count the 5 best scores. Follow me? Wouldn't that be great in accounting? First guy up, Scott Johnson, was the unheralded hero of our team, as our leadoff man got us off to a tremendous start by getting great scores at the beginning, from which the rest of the team scores can build. That is the psychology of that team event. The first guy up's critical to the team score. But after a phenomenal game, Scott lets go of the high bar for his triple backflip dismount. On the third flip, he opens up too soon. He stumbles forward, touches his hands and knees on the ground, makes a mistake, and we thought, oh no. Chances are Next 5 routines have to count. Pressure's on. Next guy goes up, Jim Hartung, Scott's teammate from the University of Nebraska, the backbone of our team. This guy never makes mistakes. Under all this pressure, he does a great high bar routine, lands his dismount, jumps off the podium or platform, is about the same height as this stage, runs around the platform, and then Jim heads